Greetings everyone and welcome back. This is Marco, and if you don't know me, I'm a content creator, video maker, photographer and all of that. And since 2017 I've been using, collecting, trading vintage lenses. I review them and show them off here on the channel. You can find a dedicated playlist. But as the weather has been absolutely terrible for the past couple weeks here, and especially with the ongoing situation, I haven't had the chance to go out and shoot. I thought it would be interesting to some of you to check out the current situation of my collection. I want to make clear something before we keep going. I'm not a collector. The lenses I own, I keep them because I use them. The ones that I don't use or I don't like, I just sell them. I don't need lenses to be on a shelf collecting dust. So the lenses we're gonna see today are the ones that I use or that I still have to review, but we'll go in a little bit more detail in a second. So let's jump on the table and let's check some vintage glass. Okay, let's begin with the cameras. This was the first camera I shot as a kid. It's a Konica Pop Super. Kinda still works, but it has some issues with the viewfinder. One day probably I'll put a roll of film in it and see if I can get some decent results. But it still works. This is the Konica C35V that you saw in the dedicated video. This was my father's camera, and it's very small and cute, but I hate the fact that the viewfinder is useless because it's just a plain piece of glass. It doesn't have a rangefinder, so you have to guess the distance, especially with the zone focusing here. It's very inaccurate. I found it's very inaccurate, and I'm bad at guesswork. This is a Cluster C63. I don't even know how it got in my house, but one time I disassembled the optic here and it's absolute trash. But again, I would like to experiment with a roll of film in it and see what results I can get. This has been in the background of the videos for quite a while. It's an Olympus AF10 Mini. I don't know if it works because it has a broken piece here on the plastic, and I guess it's the focusing IR or something, and it does struggle focusing. It seems to be working except for this issue, so I don't think I will ever use it, and it's worth nothing, so it's a prop. This guy is the Practica MTL5, my go-to film camera with my go-to lens for film, which is the Pentagon 50mm 1.8. Great lens, I love it. I use it all the time, both on film and on digital. You've seen it many times in B-roll and such. Love the 33 centimeters minimum focusing distance. Love the hexagon bokeh. Very nice lens. Love it. And here we have the Konica Auto-Reflex TC with the 40mm 1.8 pancake lens. Very nice lens. The camera body is nice and in great conditions, but the light meter doesn't work. So I want to use it, but I don't think it's worth repairing because the cost of the repair would be, well, more than the value of the camera itself, but one day I'll try it. I kinda have a kit of Konica lenses. Let's go through this. The other Konica lenses are this 50mm 1.7 that you haven't seen yet on the channel, but I'm planning to review it in this 2021, hopefully soon, and it's a great lens. I can already tell it's a great lens. It's very sharp and I like it, but I haven't had the chance to use it much yet. It's a great lens. Then we have the 135mm 2.5 beast of lens, very big, very heavy. I don't like how heavy it is, but I like the images it produces, and it's a chunky boy. But for the Konica system, I prefer to go with the Tokina 135 2.8, which is quite a bit smaller and lighter, and I like the tones, but it's very soft. They're not much softer. It's a bit softer than the Konica. And last in the Konica AR set is the Sigma 35-70. Great zoom. Many might not consider it vintage, but it is vintage. I like it. It's very sharp, reliable, and it would pair nicely with the Konica Auto Reflex TC if she was working, but she's not. Very nice lens though. Okay, last of the cameras, it's a new entry, is the Yashica FX3 Super. It's aesthetically in bad condition, but seems to be working fine. Got it recently with a couple lenses that I'm gonna show you. Don't know much about it yet, but I'll try it hopefully soon enough. Along with the Yashica camera body, I got these 3 lenses. Let's quickly go through them. They are this 135 ml, which is in bad conditions, but again, we'll see more about them in upcoming videos. The 28mm 2.8 seems to be mostly fine, has some mold, some fungus in it, but it's mostly clean, and the focusing ring is slightly damaged, but overall seems to be working fine. And last in the kit, the one in the best conditions is the 50mm 1.7, and again, these are 3 lenses that we'll have to see how they perform, and I'm planning to review them in the upcoming months. Let's move to the Soviet lenses with the Industar 50-2 50mm 3.8, the tiniest lens I own. I consider it a toy. Many love it. I don't love it. It's, again, for me it's a little bit of a toy. Helios 44M4, the one that I reversed the front element, now it's back to normal. Again, don't love it, but it's still here. Endemir 1V 37mm 2.8. This is a very clean lens. I've been lucky, it's in great conditions, but I will eventually sell it. And again, these 3 Soviet lenses are not my favorite. I'm planning to sell all of them, but before that I want to shoot a couple more videos and I want to try them on the film camera to see if I can change my mind about them by shooting them on film, as they were intended to. Final stretch with the Canon FD lenses. Among the first vintage lenses I've used, I really like them, and well, we'll see more of them shortly. This is the 28 2.8, this is the 50 1.8, again, review coming soon, and this big guy is the Secor 80-200, which is not a Canon FD, but is on Canon FD mount, and I'm in the process of selling this. And the final 2 lenses are the SMC Pentax M, the 50mm 1.7 and the 135 3.5. I really love the colors of these lenses. They produce really warm tones. They are lightweight, very small, reliable, easy to use, so I really like them, and I hope I can find a few more and maybe even a Pentax film camera so that I can build a little bit of a kit. And that's all. And there we go. These are my lenses as of February 2021. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, all of that, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!